Well, good morning, everybody. It's me and DP. And Derek, how are you this morning, my friend?
It is a great morning.
Yeah.
Nothing to complain about. Little wet, but that's all right.
A little wet there. That's cool.
Mother Nature's just doing her thing. That's all right.
Well, I'm excited. I've got a couple of your buddies actually coming on with us, plus another young lady who's going to become one of our buddies.
Well,
She
she's a buddy.
seems awesome. She's a buddy too. That's
She's a
right.
buddy too.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking women's football, and that's awesome because they are awesome. The Divas. Tell me, you want to give me any insight to the beginning of this little show here before we bring the guys on?
Yeah, this is a passion project, and it's been fascinating to watch. One, to get to know it from a closer vantage and a clearer perspective. But these are football. Like, I went into it thinking that these were women playing football, but no, these are football players who happen to be women.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to rewrap my brain around some old thinking that, okay, I had to maybe, dumb down my expectation for them. And that's not necessary with this group, with this league at all, about the prospect of what this league's going to be. So you get excited when to see them. They play hard. I can honestly say that I would have loved to have several of these women as teammates.
Yeah.
Because they get after it. They get after it.
That's cool. All right. Well, let's do ladies first, and we'll bring in Lois Cook, who's one of the Divas. Hi, Lois. How are you, darling?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Oh,
Hey,
you look great.
Sweet Lo, how are you?
hey.
We'll bring in Rich Daniels, the general manager of the Divas and owner, and this is and then of course, what'd I do? Oh, I took out DP. Sorry, DP. Didn't mean to take you out.
I'm still here.
Meant to bring in the coach of the Divas. There he is.
Hey
Barry
guys,
Thompkins.
how you doing?
Good, man. So how's everybody doing?
Great. Great.
Lee, I'm going to tell you, you probably should have notified the authorities to have this band together.
Oh yeah, I probably
Like, you should have told somebody that, hey, listen, just for the record, we're not up to anything. We're just talking love, man.
Exactly. Let me take out. I got something on top of Rich's face. I'm gonna take that out. Okay, good. Now we can see Rich. I still want you people to like and share, though. But
I think that was a better show, Lee, right there.
Yeah, no doubt. Rich Daniels, let's get a little background from you first, man. You're the GM. You've been there. How long have you been with the Divas? And they're champions. So we already know that they've won the league. How many times, Daniel? Rich?
Been there 4 times and won three of those 4.
Okay, so three championships. That's awesome. One of them was, as we were discussing before we came on, one of them was a completely undefeated season, right?
We've had one of those, yes.
Okay.
And we've also had the other. That 4th I mentioned was the 10-1.
Yeah.
So we understand what it's like on both of those ends, and it's a reminder about the journey. Not necessarily what the destination is at the end or how it ends, but so much good. And certainly Gonzaga last night is on that journey right now with that less than perfect, but still just absolutely amazing campaign and season.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I want to know, though, give me a little bit of background, Rich, on the Divas, just a short little bio on the Divas.
Absolutely. The Divas began in 2001. I happen to be the sports director at ABC Channel 7 here in Washington, D.C., and we heard that there was a women's tackle football team playing a home game in May of 2001 at Eastern High School. And our curiosity, as it often did, was piqued. And we knew that we had to go see what that was about. And after doing that minute 30 story on the 6 o'clock news, it turned into a documentary. It turned into following them, helping them with some PR and appearances and other things. And then, yes, I was the general manager from 2005 until 2019, when someone named Derek Pearson stepped in as the general manager while he was in the DMV and helped in that role in many ways. And now as the owner, and this 20 years later, we did not get to celebrate our 20th season of play last year. 2020, 20th season didn't quite work out like we thought it would. So now we're headed into what will be our 20th year of play. We're the longest running operating team in the country, aside from Austin and Minnesota, who are at the 21 mark in their existence. And we have the most wins in terms of victories on the field. But I also like to think about the broader picture, which I hope we get to talk about more today. And that is all the wins that have happened in so many other ways, so many other places, some obvious and some confidentially not so obvious, but yet every bit as successful.
So I think one of your wins was picking up Barry Thompson to come in and be your head coach, right? I tell you what, Barry, talk to me about this. I mean, how do you feel about being the head coach of this football team?
Well, hopefully this year I'll have a chance to be the head coach. Thanks to 2020, we're kind of getting our feet, getting our feet wet, and things got cut short. So now we're about 4 practices away from the first game, May 8th, and it's an interesting process. We have a unique set of parameters, but I think before we came on the air talking to DP, mentioned a lot. These are football players that love playing football, and I think the most amazing things is I have a pretty good network through my coaches, and every week you hear about these superhuman efforts to get to practice, not to embarrass anybody, but on this broadcast. But there's a rumor that a few weeks ago, somebody had to drive from, say, west of Manassas up to Silver Spring, and then drop some people off, and then drive back down to Fairfax to practice, then back to Silver Spring, and then back to west of Manassas, all to get through practice. And while I may be embarrassing somebody on this broadcast, that's a very common story. I could tell you one from last week that involved somebody else just getting off a plane and shuttling kids here and going. So it's always great to be around people who want to get better. It's just always a fun thing, and we'll see how this year goes.
All right, I'm looking forward to this year. Lois, talk to me about how long have you been a diva?
I have been a diva since 2004.
That was kind of a loaded question. You could have said since I was a little baby girl.
That too.
Since when? 2004?
Yes.
No. Yes. Wow.
Yes.
And what position do you play, Lois?
I play wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Nice. So have you enjoyed so you've been through a couple of these championships?
Yeah, no, I have had time off the field. So I've been on and off the field. I have 4 kids.
Sure.
So, so in between that, but yeah.
Have you enjoyed yourself? Do you really enjoy? You like getting hit or hitting?
Both. I absolutely enjoy it, and it's not only the on the field part. To be quite honest, it's the family. Yeah, it's that team environment. Just the Divas, what we stand for. I value that so much. And so, I've been a diva ever since I, stepped onto the field. So
that's cool. Bear, DP, take it, man. What questions do you think? You know these guys better than I do.
First of all, this is family. So this is just a family reunion. We need to properly introduce Lois Cook. You have to take the Ohio State thinking behind it, and she is now officially the Lois Cook. So you have to introduce her that way accordingly. You have to the world famous Lois Cook.
Oh my goodness.
One of the favorite things, and I've known Rich probably go back to 91, 92, somewhere along those lines. We met in another life and became brothers. And I've known Barry was my high school quarterback. So he and I go way back. One of my great only regrets with moving to Lincoln is that I don't get to do this side by side with this crew. Because I'm just telling you, this crew together would be. This crew together would be.
Well, we can make it happen, baby.
Well, Rich and Barry are familiar with me enough to know that I listen to the universe, and sometimes the universe takes you places that you don't expect to go for reasons that you aren't aware of. And I'm not sure that I would have gotten through this pandemic there the way I got through it here. And so I won't slight the fact that I'm here, but I know all the flights to DC from Lincoln, Nebraska. I know they're going to have to put up with me at some point real soon. And I'll be stomping the sidelines and contradicting them both and cheering for Lois. And seriously, real talk, true story. And Rich and Barry know that I love them and they know how I operate and I function. But one of the reasons why I said I wanted to be a part of the Divas was Lois. I came to speak to the group and I saw the workout and there was this bright, shiny source of energy. And for me, that's important. As a coach, that's important for me to know that the people that you're going to coach care about that thing. And she's a great ambassador for the game. She's a great ambassador for female athletes, for female empowerment and everything else. Barry Thompkins, that's my brother. We just don't tell people. Rich Daniels knows it. In a phone call, he knows that I'm going to rally for him like no other. And we're not done. I'm not done with the Divas from Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm not. It's too good of an idea. It's too great of a concept, and has too many great people for me not to be connected to it and for it not to do well. So that's my crew. This is my gang. They know I love them, and they know that when I say it, I mean it authentically. So I'm proud of this crew right here. I really am.
That's the end of the show. Let's go to work.
Good night, everybody.
Put me in, coach. Put me in.
Hey, Lois, let me ask you a question. You've been doing this. You kind of been there, done that. You've been excelled, obviously. I want to know, what are your future plans for what you're doing?
Oh, I mean, I'm just going to ride it till the wheels fall off. I'm going to take it as far as I can. My goal and my passion is to grow the game. And with the Divas, we're doing that. With the league, we're doing that. And so whatever I can do to help that along, whether it's by a little bit or a lot, that's what I want to do.
That's awesome. And that's why you, without even thinking about it, came on the show this morning. That's awesome. Thank you, Lois, for doing that. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I think Rich knew to reach out to you. He knew you'd be jumping on with us, and that'd be awesome. Listen, so I want to know, Rich, tell us a little bit now with all this, a lot of women, awesome women are going into coaching. I was just talking about the West Springfield varsity boys football team. They've had a defensive coach who's or offensive line coach, maybe. I'm not sure exactly what Becky does, but I met her and saw her, and she said she used to play for the Divas, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love the Divas. So how many so there's been lots of people infiltrating, which I love that. I mean that in a good way.
You like that
into
word,
into the NFL.
Yeah.
And a lot of women, and they're doing bang up jobs, and people are just over the top for them. How many? Yeah, I know. Didn't you have some of the Divas have gone to the NFL, right?
That is indeed the case in many different roles. So first and foremost, here at home with Washington football, Jennifer King, who played for us in 2019 and would have had a 2020 season with us as she began to coach with Washington, would have been a terrific 2020 campaign in that regard. Became a coach here, and she's obviously making history. Callie Brownson with Cleveland Browns, was named chief of staff, which to me is a new role, right, that was created. You can call things, I mean, titles are titles, right? It's
Right.
what you end up doing and bringing to it. And from all indications, has gotten that kind of involvement from their head coach, that type of support, and then opportunity to grow into what that actually means and can mean to grow and potentially grow that role for other people in the future, which is a terrific thing to think about. You think about Desiree Abrams, who's an NFL replay official now for multiple years. Donna Wilkinson is the first female to ever be a uniform inspector in the NFL as a former Diva as well. You talk about Becky Worsham at West Springfield O-line. Rachel Worsham also is an offensive line coach at Marshall, who I just believe won the district championship this week, or at least finished strong. I'm pretty sure I saw the banner correct.
Yeah, I didn't see. I don't know.
That sounds right. Barry's not correcting me, so I'm
It sounds about right. I think they had a pretty good season over there.
All right, it was still. I like the banner, whatever I saw that group picture was. And then we got Lindsay Solers now at Brookpoint, who is, I believe, still going on and in her first year in coaching there. There are other examples of women in the game who are coaching other women, owning other teams, general managers of other teams, playing in other cities now. And there's about 500 roughly alumni with coaches and players that are all over the world, from here to Finland and then some other places we probably don't know today.
Right. Well, I remember
Nebraska,
I remember last year you had a young lady in Nebraska. That's right. You had a young lady last year that came in and was on the show, on a different show with us, though. And is she still with you guys?
Sylvie is in Arizona.
Okay.
As you might imagine, at some point, the choice was a year ago, if you did not go, quote unquote, home,
Right.
you'd have to stay here.
Right.
Type of feeling, right? Like we were at that point of lockdown type of thinking. So she's in Arizona this year and training hard and hopes to play. We had 2 players from Sweden, Ida and Julia, were here and ready to go, and also made the decision of we're going to go back to family or, at home while we still can. We'd love for them to return, but today that's not yet possible.
Right.
But, you never know how this season is yet to play out, and that possibility is still there if things continue to progress.
That's cool. Barry, so what are the plans for this team? You obviously are part of making some game plans and stuff like that. Tell me without telling any other of the women's football league. What's your guys' strength? I remember seeing an old replay when you guys won the championship of your quarterback scrambling around like a crazy girl. And I was so impressed with her. It was so amazing. Was that pass to you, Lois? No? Okay, I wasn't sure.
I was pregnant that year.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So Barry, what's the plan, man? What's the plan?
Well, the plan, there's no secret. I think every coach wants their team to line up, to play very hard and play solid football. It's just a very basic thing. It's very simple, but it takes a lot. We have a great coaching staff. We have a great mix of young and old players, and week to week we're seeing improvement. So we're not quite where we want to be, obviously, but we don't need to be there till May 8th. But really just line up, play hard, play good defense, special teams, score the ball, get out of there with a victory. That's no secret there. That's what we plan to do.
Okay, good stuff, man. DP, anything else, man, you got?
This is and it's important to disclose. If you're seeing this, reach out, because not only is this quality entertainment, but this is supporting the community in the highest level possible.
Yes.
There are folks that have businesses that have contacts that can help the Divas go forward and represent the DMV in the highest, greatest elevated light. And that's required. In order to do those things, we need a rally. You need a rally for the folks to come out and help this organization be the greatest women's football organization There's an opportunity here for this group from a talent standpoint. There's no team in this league that has as much talent as the Divas. They may not have the resources and the numbers, but that comes from local support. And a part of why I wanted to be involved last year was to drive some of that attention, some of that energy towards the Divas. The Divas, with the help of that community, the Divas win a title. That's just how simple this is. So if you see this, take a moment, find the Divas, follow the Divas, reach out to the Divas, be a part of their family, and help them do the thing that they were set to do. Because as this thing takes off, the Divas should be the highlight North Star franchise for women's football. And the talent on this team should be the ones that you see, that you've seen on TikTok, that you've seen on ESPN, that you've seen on local TV. But there's a reason why the world's eyes keep getting drawn to the DC Divas. That's who the Divas are. That's what the Divas do. So reach out, be a part of it, help them become the greater versions of themselves. And I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. This is a great collection of football players, great collection of coaches, and of course, Rich Daniels. Rich Daniel, you're my brother, and good things are coming. They really are. Just you got to keep going forward.
That's right. Hey, Rich. So how do they reach out?
DCDivas.com is the easy way to find us, and then everything DP said has lined up over all these years and all that hard work. I mentioned those 500 plus people. It's not me. We're able to be here, Lois and I and Coach, to talk to you today, but we really represent those first 2 decades, and we want to represent those next 2. And as DP said, being the best version of who we can be as individuals and doing this and how we can grow and then how we can best do that collectively. So we are now a nonprofit organization operating as. We have begun the 2021 year and moving forward in the next 20, 40, or whatever it might be. Let's be the Packers, the next 100.
That's right.
Right. But the growth opportunity is there for more people to able to interact with us in a different manner, a more structured manner. They could also support our literacy program. They could work on our advocacy efforts to bring high school football on the varsity flag level for girls in the state of Virginia and Maryland, so that they are still early adopters and not last in the efforts that are going on all across the country. There's also the preservation of history that we have to look at and think about when we talk about 20 years and the stories and the people, the games, and all the rest. Neil Rosendahl, who's a great part of our family, wrote the Encyclopedia of Women's Football. It's about a 500-page hard copy, or it's quite the book, right? That has yearly updates now, and we're going to be playing the national championship for the next 5 years at the NFL Hall of Fame. That's a huge step. After, again, when you're in the decade, progress can seem slow or non-existent at times, and you look back at the decade and you say, you know what? There's a lot that has happened, and even over the course of the last year or two, even at a more rapid pace.
Right.
So we're in a place with this structure, and more importantly, let's think about, besides structure, that people can see outwardly and we can help build inwardly. It's more importantly, they see people like Lois Cook and Lexi, and I could go on to start naming people down our roster, alumni, right? So if you go to Lois Cook and Foundation, right? Lois, you plug the foundation as soon as I'd be quiet about you, all right? Because people should know this is the type of person that's involved, right? We have 18 to 40 something almost every year, right? We have people from all across the world, all across the DMV, all types of occupations, all types of how did you get here today, right? But the collective why is powerful. And those collective talents together, if we can partner with your community efforts as a community partner, that's another area where we're growing. We want to be able to do that. So I turn it over to Lois, if I might, Lee. I jumped in as May, but we need to hear from Lois.
Well, I'm just going to say, I mean, I definitely echo DP and Rich on all of the sentiments that you said. But from my experience, and just to speak to we're a full circle team. I'm talking the past, present, and the future. When you look at the players who play today, from my experience, we're playing, of course, because we love this game. We play for the love of the game. But we're doing this because of those women who paved the way for us. We're doing it because they gave us this opportunity to play. And then we go through the blood, the sweat, and the tears because we want the future girls. We want the next generation to have a better opportunity to play. So when we play for her, and we play for our sisters who are on the field with us, and we play for our sisters who came before us. And so it's very important for us to grow the game, like I said before, and keep it going, because that's who we all are. That's who we are, and that's why we're here.
And you have a foundation, Lois?
I do. I started a foundation, and nonprofit organization. Just to do my part a little bit more, to help support, to empower women, young girls, even the young boys who want to play, but to support those young girls and to help them, those girls who are in high school that want to play and, can't seem to find their way. There are a lot of girls who don't have the confidence or don't really know which way to go, or they just need that support. And also for the women who are already playing today, as the whole entire industry of women's football is not where we want it to be, but we're certainly getting there. So it's definitely to support them as well.
That's awesome. I appreciate you. You guys are all just elite community members, and the Divas is an elite community organization. It sounds like your foundation is as well, Lois. DP, I think we've had some great guests today, and your favorites, I guess, too.
Yeah, you couldn't. What a great way to start the day. The standard's pretty high for anybody else that crosses us the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, thank you so much, everybody. You guys are great. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you coming on, and we will do this more often. We can do this as much as you guys. If you got something happening, Lois, or you have something happening, Rich or Barry, and DP knows this, ring me up. We'll be on the show the next day. And that's how it works. So don't forget dcdivas.com, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Go to dcdivas.com, find out what the latest is and what the schedule is. Have you gotten a home field yet, Rich?
That'll be soon, but the one we're focused on it's called Tom Benson Stadium. It's located in Canton, Ohio, and the game is slated for July 24th on DirecTV and many other outlets throughout the country, so it'll be easy to see. That's the one, and then we're going to work our way back to the home games will be in June. We start May 8th at Baltimore. May 15th, we go to Boston, and then we finish with those teams in June at home, which we believe will be in the DMV.
Well, MoreJoy Media has been my dream that MoreJoy Media would get back into covering sports, because I've covered sports in this area for 25, 30 years. But we're going to get and do that again, and it's going to be, and I'm going to tell you that I feel like this call on me to make it a focus on women's sports in the local area. So Divas absolutely will be the shining star of that, and we'll talk all about that at another time. But I just wanted to make sure you guys are on today, and especially with DP, I wouldn't have you on any other day. I have you only on when we've got the big man there. So that's cool. All the way from Nebraska is my man DP, and the rest of y'all. Peace, love, and happiness to everybody. And
a little soul train.
Exactly.
Hit them hard, Lois. Hit them hard, kiddo, and make some spectacular one-handers. Those are cool. Those are very cool.
She does every day. I mean, she has 4 boys, and she's a DC.
4 boys.
Not to mention everything else. So yeah, she's constantly.
So she has to show them up, right?
One-handed
example.
It's like the dad used to always say to his sons. He said, you can try to keep up with me, boys. And I see Lois saying that to them now.
Exactly.
You can try, boys. You can try. And mom's a diva.
Yep.
All right.
Me bouncing off the walls. It's the other way around.
That's right. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.